G'day all, it's Colin from PCTLC and thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be having a look at Ubuntu Kylin 22.04. Very interesting desktop, this one. It's got a new UKUI 3.1 in the 22.04 release. This is the 5th long-term support release after 14.04, 16.04, 18.04 and 20.04. Has been around for a little while. In this updated version, it adds new functions such as displaying remaining charging time, complex touch gestures and operation animation teaching, system light mode setting. It has WeChat online login and support for opening personal hotspots. It has further optimized the display form of the taskbar area, taskbar startup time, notification pop-up animation and file manager sidebar level, and fixed known issues such as control Q not being able to close the music program, and the risk of memory leaks in the Kylin burner. So it comes with the latest Linux 5.15 long-term support kernel. So as you can see, it's got some important updates here. So the new UKUI 3.1 desktop environment is based on the theme of light seeking. It introduces the design concept of large rounded corners and light and shadow transformation. Has a new logo design and has also upgraded and optimized the system interaction experience, making your overall operation more comfortable, simple and free, bringing you a new experience. So that all sounds pretty good. So in the 22.04 long-term support version, they now have more than 10 self-developed applications, such as the Kylin calculator, screenshot, video, recording and camera, and they've all been fully upgraded. So there's a website there, I'll leave in the show notes. So anyone running the 20.04 version can update to the 22.04 long-term support version by using this command here. So sounds like a few improvements have been made. So let's head off to VirtualBox. I have tried this on real hardware, seemed to work okay. I'll show you in VirtualBox, it's easier for recording. So let's check it out. So this is the boot screen of Ubuntu Kylin 22.04. So what we need to do here is very important. We need to edit the boot command by selecting E, and we need to go down to this line here and change the locale to your country. So for me, that's lowercase. That's a ZH, so I'm going to change that to EN for English. And for capitals, I'm going to put AU for my country. And then we can press the F10 key to boot, and that should boot with English. And we have a bit of a jingle there. Now I may need to adjust the screen size. I think it's adjusted the it's scaled to a full screen, but I think the wrong size by the looks of it. So we need to go to settings. Display, yes, resolution's way off there. 1920 by 1080. Save that. Okay, we're good to go. Go back to full screen. I did find that they've changed the installation. Looks a lot more like Deepin. Very nice installation, so let's check it out. Install Kylin. It's going to be English. Perth, Australia. Username, and that would obviously be the computer name, which would be VBox. Password, I won't select automatic login on boot because I want to check the login screen, so it's got to be 8 characters or more. Now you can do a custom install but I'll go for full install on this hard drive here. Disk is less than 50 gig. Okay, that's going to be a problem, isn't it? All right, so I'm going to have to change the size of that disk to do this install. I didn't realize that because my first install was on real hardware. English, Australia, Perth. And next, now we have a 60 gig hard drive. Can do a custom install. You can create partition table, select the device if you've got more than one. You can revert your options. But in this case, I'm going to select this disk here. It's got the little check mark there, the tick. So we can go next. Confirm full installation. I think that's this one here, yep. So you got to confirm that you're formatting the whole disk. So you understand that you're losing all your data on that disk. That's a very good implementation there, I must say. And then start the installation. So that is the installation complete. Let's do a restart and get into our freshly new desktop. And here we are at the login screen of Ubuntu Kylin 22.04. Need to adjust the resolution again. So we have some new updates pending at the moment. So let's update the system first and then check it out after that. Quite a few updates there. So I'm having trouble getting the updates downloaded. So I think we may need to have a look at, let's just check it out. Files, file system, etc. That's back to front, isn't it? etc. apt. Needs to be in alphabetical order. Sources.list. Let's just check that out quick. Double click that. Should open up with the software updater, I believe. There we go. So I think, yeah, I think we're looking at mirrors in, I'm not sure where that mirror is. I think we need to change mirrors. I thought there might have been an Australian mirror there. Doesn't look like it. Whatever servers it's on, it's very slow. Got additional drivers here if you want to put your, if you want to install your NVIDIA. If you've got an NVIDIA, it should show up in here. Other software, and let's just try. I thought there might have been a server for Australia. I don't know if that's going to be any quicker than the one that was set anyway. So let's close that and reload that. See if it's any quicker. Maybe they don't have servers for this distro in Australia, possibly. We'll see how we go. All right, so let's try that again. Let's just close that and open it back up. Software updater. Well, that seems to be reacting a lot quicker than before, so that's a good sign. So let's install now, and now we're up to 1,000. It was 500 before, now it's 1,000, over 1,000 megabytes. Interesting. But this is definitely a more positive result than what was going on before. So having some issues updating Ubuntu Kylin. As you can see, that's at 90%. This one's at 100% now. Still downloading there, that's okay. But these are all from, if we have a look, if we hover over that, it says .archive. Now, I've had to restart this many times to kickstart some of these downloads to continue. Now, the ones that have already downloaded have a HTTP US archive. These ones are not US archives, so they seem to be taking a long time. So I'd have to think they're coming out of China, which is making it incredibly difficult to get this thing going. So let's have a look at some of these ones. Now they're not US. The US one's already been downloaded, so they're not showing in the list now because I've restarted the downloader. It just gets stuck and becomes idle, like this one here says idle. It gets stuck. That one's stuck on 90% and it's idle. That's what's been happening. So hopefully, might take me a while, but hopefully eventually I can get through these updates. So we'll see how we go. Yay, we are installing. Okay, so finally we have updated the system. I'm going to restart now. That has taken quite a long time. Definitely drawing from repos from China, which is not ideal. So let's log into the system. Okay, so it hasn't reverted back to a massive screen resolution, which is good. I want to run the updater again to make sure that we have done all updates. I want to make sure that they've completed, because I wasn't 100% sure at the end there whether it did pull everything down. Computer is up to date, that's good. Now they've got a burner here. I didn't try that on real hardware, I only just looked at it. Burn data, burn image, copy image. So you've got those three options there. Burn image, copy image, burn data. Haven't done that for a long time. Burn data, used to do that all the time. So we can adjust how we see the menu here. We can go alphabetical order, or with the categories there, with the category headings, or we can just have all of them in, it is in alphabetical order, but I believe the first maybe 3 or 4 are the recently used. I'm not sure how many that is. I haven't opened that one yet. Oh no, it'd be the first 3. I have opened those 3, so they're the ones. So we have a camera. Got a camera app here, no device was found. Looks like it's got GNOME disk installed. Yes, it does. About this. GNOME disk utility 42. APK installer. It's got a messages app. I'm not sure what that's using. So it must be their own messaging app. So if someone else is running the Kylin desktop, you can probably message them, I would say. That's interesting. Music player. So that's the music player there. It's got its own notes. A little bit like Windows Notes, that one. Pictures. About pictures. Pictures. It's running Rhythmbox as well. It's got Thunderbird installed. It's got a toolkit. Video player, which is dark by default. That's pretty handy. It looks a little bit like MPV player. It is MPV, yeah. Okay. WPS Office installed, and that's it. Now, it's got this weather app. I was messing around with this on real hardware. So if you try and change the location, it doesn't really work. I've actually never seen it with weather actually showing up, which is interesting. I couldn't get that to work. But it is working now. I don't remember doing so many updates when I was trialing this on real hardware. So that's another thing. Let's change, see if we can change that. See, these are all China cities. Let's do Perth and see if it finds that. There is no city. It only does China, which is unfortunate because it's a nice looking weather app. Weather version 3.1.2. Okay, so we have a software center here. We have a USB boot maker. Toolkit. I'm not quite sure what toolkit is. Oh, yep, that's the shows you all about your computer. It is a bit bright, isn't it? Let's go to settings and let's adjust the brightness on this. I think is a good idea. Personalization, theme, dark mode. That's better. I like that better. Icon theme. So you've got some options for icon theme there. Okay, so that's your machine info, hardware parameters, graphics card, memory, motherboard, network, hardware monitors, and driver manager. Okay, it's not going to show you much because we're on VirtualBox. So let's run through settings real quick. Go to display and start from there. That seems to be the first one in there, so that's handy. We've got night mode. We've got audio settings, power, notifications or notice settings. Vino, allow others to view your desktop, allow connection to control screen. You must confirm every visit for this machine. Require user to enter this password. That's pretty handy. UKUI. I believe it stands for Ubuntu Kylin User Interface, I think. Printer, you can add your printers. Mouse settings there. Keyboard and keyboard shortcuts. Now this one here I found to be very sparse and didn't have a lot of options for keyboard shortcuts, so hopefully they will expand on that. Now we have this one here, which is the show task view. I think also if we open a couple of things here, let's open that there and check that out. So it has that, which is the overview, what's opened, and also current workspaces. I believe you can also use, it's the window button and something, I can't remember which one it is. Window button also opens the menu. WinP, I think it is. Oh no, that gives you a option for screens. The super button and P. Super and S gives you a search field, if you can see that in the middle there. You can only just see it. If we go type Firefox or something like that. You can open the sidebar with super and A. You get the sidebar there. A super W. So super W gives you the Windows overview, so super W. Screen sizes, moving screen to left and right and so forth. You can do super, right arrow, left arrow, up arrow and down arrow, but I can't seem to find a full screen. And normally that would be super M in some places, but that's not working. Got your wired connection, wireless, proxy, VPN, background. So we have some backgrounds there, some fairly nice backgrounds there. Maybe we go for a bit of a darker background. Let's see how we go there. That's better. Theme we've seen, screen lock options there. Lock screen when screensaver boot. Show picture of screen lock on screen login. Screen saver. Fonts. User info. You can choose to log in without password. Auto login at boot. Now they're very handy options to have, I must say. Biometrics. Fingerprint. Change password. Cloud account. Sync your settings across other devices. Date. Area. Auto boot. So weather is auto booting. Default apps. And search. We've got also the software store. Let's have a look at that real quick. So that's discover page, software. So you've got a lot of software there. You've got categories here. These are featured. You've got Office. You've got develop, graphic, video, network, game, education, social, system, safe, and others. So quite a few categories there. I think I like the categories broken up into this many. It's easier to search. Just interested in what games they've got. Do they have an option for Steam, I wonder? Doesn't appear to be in any sort of order. We could probably enter the name Steam and see if it's there. Steam, press enter. No, it's not there. Okay. My apps, updates, installed, uninstall. So you can uninstall applications fairly easy from here. They've got a very nice calendar. No integration for online accounts, however. I suppose the easy thing to do for that would be to install GNOME Calendar, possibly. You could hook up an online account with that. Do they have online accounts? That's another question, isn't it? Maybe it's in settings, online accounts. Did I miss that in settings somehow? Now the other thing here is when you press enter, you got to press enter and then it opens up. Okay. Accounts, I don't know if there was any online accounts here. Cloud account, sync your settings across other devices, sign in. What does that do? Kylin ID, so that's using a Kylin account. Okay, I don't think there was online accounts anywhere else, so that's a Kylin specific account. So we could do a search for calendar. PC calendar, no GNOME calendar. Interesting. GNOME calendar, GNOME calculator. No results. So they're the only options there, is those two. Go to full library search. Oh, there we go. Full library search, GNOME calendar, there it is. I didn't see that full library search there. So you got the option of GNOME calendar there. You could install that. You've got this show desktop here like Windows. So there's no doubt that they try to make it. I was reading somewhere where they were talking about the UKUI desktop is to give a Windows type feel, because I don't believe they use a lot of Windows in China. So they're trying to make their own. That's probably why you get these nice looking distros out of China, deep in, and now this UKUI has evolved quite nicely, I must say. So that's probably the reason why they've got these distros is to give the people in China a desktop with a similar feel. We've got the UKUI sidebar there. Now I did try the brightness on real hardware, didn't work. Don't know why. It won't work on, obviously, on here. You've got energy, Bluetooth, flight. I'm not sure what that one is. Oh, projection. Okay, so extend screen, clone screen. Okay. That's pretty handy. Settings, screenshot tool, is it? Screenshot. Oh, yeah. So what does that do? Take a screenshot. And then you've got a whole heap of options here. Add text, set the marker as paint tool, set the pencil as the paint tool. What can we do? Put in colors or something like that. Oh yeah. Square. Oh yeah. Square. Check that out. Arrow. This one here. PCTLC. What's this one do? Oh yeah, it's like a, I'm not quite sure, shadows, text. Oh, blur. Oh wow, look at that, blur. Nice. And you can save if you wish. I won't bother saving that, I don't think. Let's escape that. Okay, done. Then we have this one here, which is Peony. About is the Peony file manager, graphical software to help users manage system files. Okay, and what does it have on right click? It's got some nice blur effects as well. Properties. Let's go to properties of something in here. Properties. Basic, mark. Got colors there. Permissions. Group, user. That's really handy. That's nice and simple. Peony Qt share extension. Share folder. You can have list view. Details. Icon view. You've got details to the side here. You can turn that off. So if we click on a icon there, we get these options here to cut, select all, copy, delete to trash. They're nice little options up the top there, I must say. Now, if I do an FTP on here, how does that work? Let's see how that goes. FTP. And it allows me to use a registered user. And it's logged into my network drive. And it's actually fairly quick as well. That's quite quick. That loads everything pretty quick. A lot quicker than a lot of other file managers, I must say. And then you've got like a brightness night mode there. And here you've got options of opening and closing these things here. You've got global search, update notifier, weather, another update notifier. I don't know why there's two, and a screenshot tool. You can choose to show them or hide them. And then you got the software store there, WPS Office. Yeah, okay, yeah, oh yeah, they have a user agreement. 2019. And the other thing we have here in the menu is we can have a full screen menu if we wish, like so. And you can choose to have letter, function, which is fairly much categories. So you've got image, video, game, system, safe, system monitor, and others. So let's have a look at system monitor while we're here. What do we got? 2.1 gigs of memory, quite high. Don't know if that's normal or not. Full screen that. So Peony is using 26 gigs. System monitor 25 gigs. My processors, all processors. Then you got this information down the side here. You got services, disks. It's interesting. That'll be all the snap things, is it? Would have to be. Snap, yeah. Oh. Yeah, that's a bit not very nice to look at with all those snap loops there, I must say. So yeah, it's using 2 gigs of memory. It's a little bit high. Seems to be higher than GNOME. Maybe I should do a reboot and just check on a quick reboot. Let's do that. And let's log in. System monitor is 1.6 gigs. So it is a bit of a memory hog, I have to say. Does use quite a fair bit of memory. It's higher than GNOME, that's for sure. But I don't know whether that's a VirtualBox issue or not. I don't currently have it on real hardware. And if you have got a search up there and you want to close it, you just click this button here and it closes the search. We never opened Firefox, did we? Let's have a quick look at Firefox. And that's the canonical Snap 101.0.1. So that was Ubuntu Kylin 22.04. What do I think of this desktop? I reckon it's a really nice desktop, actually. I quite like it. A couple of things, there's a few things I don't like, is the weather app only does China. The repos itself within the Ubuntu Kylin seem to be all coming out of China. You can choose US, but it only chooses a few US repos. That a majority of them seem to be coming out of China. The WPS update was the biggest issue. That was like 380 or 390 megabytes. That was a very, very slow download. And the Ubuntu Kylin update manager or something was another one that seemed to just sit idle for a while. So updates were painful, excruciatingly painful and long. That's probably no fault of theirs if it's meant to be run in China. I am running this in Australia, so it's gonna be a bit of an issue. As you can see, it's got some apps there. I like the Peony file manager, is quite nice. The burner, the video player, the pictures, the recorder. They've got a messages app. I don't know if that's a messaging from one UKUI desktop to another. I'd have to think that's what that is. So they've got a few of their own curated apps in there. So it's evolved and it's coming along quite nicely. Would I run Ubuntu Kylin itself? Probably not, because of the network connection mainly going to China. That's an issue for me. Be nice if it was available. I'll probably have to look at to see whether it's installable. Could probably do an Ubuntu minimal install. I don't know whether you don't get a lot of services in that out of the box and you've got to mess around too much. I'm not sure. I'd have to look into that. But definitely a nice looking desktop overall. I quite like this desktop. It's coming along really nicely and every release just seems to get better and better. So this is a long-term release and actually it's quite a nice long-term release, I must say. There's no doubt that it tries to mimic Windows because I believe in China they don't run Windows, I don't think. If they do, probably very minimal. So they try to offset that by having some distros that do aesthetically look like Windows, I would say. And that's fairly obvious by the looks of this desktop and also the Deepin desktop as well. I really like the installer on this one. They've done a really nice job on the installer. So all these distros that come out of China seem to do a really good job of aesthetics. They make them look really nice. But I like this one better than Deepin because I like Deepin's probably got more mirrors, but this seems to be more close to Linux than what Deepin is. I tend to think that this and the Peony file manager just has a normality about it rather than look too much different. I'm not sure where I'm going with that, but I just know by using it, it has a better Linux feel than what Deepin does. So anyway, that's enough raving from me. That was the Ubuntu Kylin 22.04. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it interesting and informative, and thanks for watching.